Miss Kelly Fickler.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, listen, from the outside looking in, I can't believe it's only been 2 years since your last album, because it seems like you've lived like a lifetime with all that you've accomplished since that album came out.
It is, yeah, totally. Everything has happened so fast. Ever since American Idol, it was like just been a whirlwind, I think, here and there and everywhere, and before I'd never been on an airplane. I'd never been anywhere really outside of my town, and now it's like I can't get out of the airplanes. I can't get out of the airports. I'm stuck in them all the time and traveling here and there, and my life's been a 180, but for the best.
Been on tours, some of the biggest country tours, traveling all over the country. Also performed on your first USO tour, went overseas to Iraq.
Yes.
How did that performance and being over there, did it change your perception of the country, if not the world?
It changed my life, absolutely. Just being able to go and have a hands-on learning experience, and be able to talk and build relationships with 3-star generals, and it was just crazy to be able to sit down and talk with him. I mean, he talks to the president every day.
That's surreal.
Yeah, it's just so amazing. I'm like, wow, this cannot be happening. And to sit down with different men and women that are in service in Iraq, and to talk to them about how they feel about things, and are they are they happy to be here? And because you read and hear about so much of the you read about so much bad things that are happening, and the media never focuses on the positive things. And so it was so great to be able to take GAC there and document our trip, because we did a positive spin on it, because there are bad things that happen everywhere, but there's so many amazing things that are being taken place over there because of the U.S. services, providing school supplies and building their schools and providing them with clean drinking water and electricity. I mean, there's so many great things, building the roads and helping them become a civilized government. I mean, there's so many great things that are being taken place. It was great to be able to go and capitalize on that and be able to show everybody that there are good things that are happening.
Watching that special that you're talking about too on GAC, there were a lot of emotional moments. I mean, you were tearing up quite a bit around this moment.
I think it really hits you, like reality sets in, and it's like, this is real. This is real. And to be able to go there and like I said, talk to those men and women and see how, just to witness and see with your own eyes the living situation that the Iraqis live in, and to hear about how the women are mistreated and the kids, and just to learn about their culture. It's so like overwhelming.
It made an impression on you, and obviously you made an impression on them, because I know you're once again heading overseas for another USO tour. But this time you know what to take too. Right?
I know what to take now.
How to dress, what to bring.
No high heels, because you cannot get out of those helicopters in stilettos. So just the combat boots.
Leave the high heels alone, right?
Leave the heels on.
That's funny. A lot of things too. We look at your life. I mean, when you first hit on to Idol, I mean, and now up to this point, a teenager coming into their 20s. That's a lot of growing time.
Yeah.
We get to do it as young women. Maybe while we're in college, privacy of our own homes. You do it as in the public eye, as a celebrity. But does it make you stronger? Do you feel, maybe a little bit more?
In some lights, yeah. I think that it's definitely a little tricky, because people first saw me on American Idol, and I just turned 19. I was still a teenager and worked at Sonic and just graduated high school. And
a young teenager, because as you mentioned, you hadn't really been out of the state. Growing up in Auburn, North Carolina. I mean,
I was very, I don't know if
sheltered wouldn't be the word, but I mean, you hadn't really traveled around.
I was really not knowledgeable on the world, and I was ignorant, I guess you could say. I mean, I guess that's kind of a mean word, but I really was. I was ignorant as what was really going on in the world, and just, I guess in general that. But I have grown up a lot since, just a lot's happened since I was 19. I mean, the whole world is just totally different. And,
well, with that first,
different people come in and out of my life, and with the first record, it was just, it was so amateur, because I didn't even know who I was, and I was going in from that transition from a child to a woman.
Yeah.
you know.
But a lot of that, though, childhood and your experiences and who you were as a kid growing up really
Yeah.
played out into Small Town Girl.
It
Specifically,
did.
I Wonder. That really
Yes.
introduced you to a lot of the fans, and we kind of got an idea of who you
Yeah.
were and how you grew up. And I'm sure it's still not an easy song to sing when we talk about
Yeah.
I Wonder, but has it taken on new meaning, different
It,
meaning?
it has. I've kind of more or less looked at it as a survivor song because I remember after the CMAs last year, and I might have told you this before, but after the CMAs last November, where I performed I Wonder, it was my first time performing at an award show and in front of my peers, I really had an emotional obviously I had an emotional, I guess, performance, and it was really hard for me to get through the song. And I remember coming up the stage, and I never singing that song again. I hate that song. I'm never gonna do it. I'm putting it on the shelves, and if anybody wants to hear it, they can buy the record, but they're not gonna hear me sing it, not anymore. And I went through a stage where I just kind of wanted to just get it out, just get rid of it. And it wasn't until I went to, later on doing another concert and then a meet and greet, this little girl came up to me, and she was probably 6 or 7, and she came up to me and she said, "Kelly," she tugged on my pants, and I went, "Yeah," and I kneeled down, and she said, "Are you gonna sing I Wonder?" And I was like, oh my God, I wasn't planning on it, and I said, "Do you want me to sing it?" And she goes, "Yeah." She said, "That's my favorite song." And she had this long brown hair down to her butt, and this little cowboy hat on, these boots. I mean, she was the cutest thing I've ever seen. And her dad leaned over and he said, that is her favorite song. Her mother left her 7 years ago, I think 6 or 7 years ago. So when she was a baby, and she doesn't know her mom, and so she loves that song because it's her life. And when we get in the car, if it's not on the radio, she makes me turn it off, and she just sings it a cappella. She knows every word. So I thought, I cannot go on stage tonight and not sing this song because obviously it's touched her. She's a child, and to think, a 7-year-old knows the meaning behind such a personal, intimate, serious song. A lot of the kids love Red High Heels because it's fun and sassy, and they don't even really know what it's talking about. But for I Wonder, for someone to really understand and comprehend, I think people really underestimate children, and they're so intelligent. We can learn a lot from them. So it was very interesting to have her, just this little girl, be touched by my music and an adult song, so I've definitely, I think I've grown a lot through my music. I think the writing for the new album that's on the self-titled album, Kelly Pickler, is more Kelly Pickler.